Darth Vader, originally known as Anakin Skywalker, is one of the most iconic villains in cinematic history. His transformation from a promising Jedi Knight to the feared Sith Lord is marked by a series of heinous crimes that span the galaxy. If Darth Vader were to be held accountable for his actions, the legal implications would be profound and far-reaching. This article explores the potential charges against Darth Vader and the legal consequences of his reign of terror. Crimes against humanity and genocide. If Darth Vader were charged for his crimes, one of the most serious accusations would be crimes against humanity and genocide. Under his command, the Galactic Empire carried out numerous atrocities, including the complete destruction of the planet Alderaan, resulting in the deaths of billions of innocent people. This act alone constitutes genocide, a deliberate attempt to annihilate an entire population. Additionally, Vader's role in the systematic persecution and extermination of the Jedi Order, as well as his involvement in the oppression and enslavement of various species across the galaxy, further solidify his culpability in crimes against humanity. These charges would carry the most severe legal consequences, reflecting the profound and widespread impact of his actions on countless lives and civilizations. If convicted, Vader would face the harshest penalties, emphasizing the need for accountability for such egregious violations of human rights and intergalactic law. Torture and unlawful imprisonment. If Darth Vader were charged for his crimes, the charges of torture and unlawful imprisonment would be substantial components of the case against him. As a Sith Lord, Vader routinely employed brutal and sadistic interrogation methods to extract information from his enemies, causing severe physical and psychological trauma. Notable victims such as Princess Leia Organa and Han Solo endured excruciating pain under his orders. Additionally, Vader was responsible for the illegal detention of countless individuals, often imprisoning them without trial or legal justification in harsh and inhumane conditions. These actions violated numerous intergalactic laws and human rights conventions, resulting in severe charges of torture and unlawful imprisonment. If convicted, Vader would face significant penalties, including long-term imprisonment or even the death penalty, underscoring the gravity of his violations and the suffering he inflicted on countless beings across the galaxy. Murder and assassination. If Darth Vader were charged for his crimes, the charges of murder and assassination would be among the most severe. Throughout his time as a Sith Lord, Vader was responsible for the deaths of countless individuals, both directly and indirectly. His actions ranged from executing Jedi younglings during the purge of the Jedi Temple to assassinating key figures such as Obi-Wan Kenobi and numerous Rebel Alliance soldiers. Vader's orders also led to the elimination of political adversaries and anyone deemed a threat to the Empire, often carried out with ruthless efficiency. Each act of murder and assassination would constitute separate charges of first-degree murder and conspiracy to commit murder. Given the premeditated nature and sheer number of these killings, the legal consequences would be profound, potentially resulting in life imprisonment or even the death penalty. The prosecution would emphasize the cold-blooded and calculated manner of these acts, painting a damning picture of Vader's reign of terror. Treason and sedition. If Darth Vader were charged for his crimes, treason and sedition would be critical components of the prosecution's case. As Anakin Skywalker, he initially swore allegiance to the Galactic Republic and the Jedi Order. However, his betrayal, which included aiding Emperor Palpatine in overthrowing the Republic and exterminating the Jedi, constitutes high treason. By supporting the establishment of the Galactic Empire and actively participating in the massacre of his fellow Jedi, Vader's actions directly contributed to the dismantling of the Republic's democratic institutions. His role in fomenting sedition by inciting insurrection against the lawful government would also be emphasized. These charges of treason and sedition are among the gravest in any legal system, typically carrying the harshest penalties, including life imprisonment or death. The prosecution would highlight the profound betrayal and the catastrophic impact of his actions on the galaxy's political stability and freedom, underscoring the need for severe punishment. War crimes. If Darth Vader were charged for his crimes, war crimes would be a prominent aspect of the prosecution's case. As a top military commander of the Galactic Empire, Vader orchestrated and executed numerous operations that violated the rules of war and basic human rights. His directives included the ruthless targeting of civilian populations, such as the brutal suppression on planets like Lothal, and the use of overwhelming force to crush any opposition. The destruction of Alderaan, which occurred under his watch, exemplifies the Empire's willingness to annihilate entire worlds to maintain control, resulting in massive civilian casualties. These actions would lead to charges of war crimes, reflecting Vader's disregard for the laws of war and the immense suffering inflicted on countless innocent beings. Conviction on these charges would likely result in severe penalties, including life imprisonment or the death penalty, underscoring the gravity of his transgressions. Slavery and forced labor. If Darth Vader were charged for his crimes, the charges of slavery and forced labor would be significant. Under his command, the Galactic Empire systematically enslaved entire populations to work on massive projects such as the construction of the Death Star and various military installations. Species like the Wookiees of Kashyyyk were captured, brutalized, and forced into harsh labor under inhumane conditions, with no regard for their well-being or rights. These actions violate numerous intergalactic laws and human rights conventions, making slavery and forced labor among the gravest of Vader's offenses. If convicted, Vader would face severe penalties, including long-term imprisonment or even the death penalty, reflecting the egregious nature of exploiting sentient beings for the Empire's oppressive and militaristic agenda. The role of evidence. If Darth Vader were charged for his crimes, the role of evidence would be crucial in securing a conviction. Prosecutors would need to gather extensive and compelling evidence to build a strong case against him. This would include eyewitness testimonies from survivors of his brutal campaigns, historical records documenting his orders and actions, and physical evidence from sites of atrocities, such as the remains of Alderaan and the labor camps on Kashyyyk. Additionally, holo recordings and intercepted communications could provide direct proof of Vader's involvement in war crimes, torture, and other illegal activities. The evidence would need to be meticulously documented and presented to establish a clear and undeniable link between Vader and the numerous violations of galactic law he committed. Given the widespread and systematic nature of his crimes, the sheer volume and diversity of evidence would underscore the gravity of his actions and support the call for severe legal repercussions. Defense strategies. If Darth Vader were charged for his crimes, his defense team would likely employ several strategies to mitigate the severity of his punishment. They might argue that Vader was heavily influenced and manipulated by Emperor Palpatine, suggesting that he acted under duress and psychological coercion. Additionally, they could highlight his severe psychological trauma and mental distress, stemming from personal losses and the pressures of the Clone Wars, which impaired his judgment. The defense could also point to Vader's eventual redemption, emphasizing his final act of saving his son, Luke Skywalker, and destroying Palpatine, thereby ending the Sith's reign. These arguments would aim to present Vader as a complex figure who, despite his many heinous acts, was capable of change and ultimately made a significant positive impact in his final moments. Sentencing and punishment. If Darth Vader were charged for his extensive list of crimes, the sentencing and punishment would be severe and reflect the gravity of his actions. Given his involvement in genocide, torture, unlawful imprisonment, and countless murders, he would likely face the harshest penalties available under galactic law. A conviction could result in life imprisonment without the possibility of parole or even the death penalty, considering the sheer scale and brutality of his offenses. Additionally, any remaining assets and resources accumulated during his reign could be seized and redistributed to aid the victims of the Empire's atrocities. The court might also mandate measures to prevent similar abuses of power in the future, highlighting the need for accountability and justice. Despite potential mitigating factors such as psychological manipulation and eventual redemption, the overwhelming evidence of Vader's crimes would necessitate a stringent and exemplary punishment. That's all for today's video. Don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to our channel for more future videos. Share your thoughts in the comments below on what character you'd like us to analyze next. Thanks for watching, and stay tuned for more fascinating content.